Hello everyone! Today we have, well, we always have fun topics, but today we're going to be talking about hats and caps. I have had several people ask me, and you have to forgive me, we've been a little bit busy, so I know that I told several of you in messages that it would be a couple weeks. It's been 3 weeks, so bear with me, but I do have answers for you today. So I'm really excited, and I'm also going to show you, along with my hats and caps, just a refresh on some of my favorite styles for the summer. I know we've done this before, but as is every week we have new people that join our community, that join what I like to call Wig World. It's a great world to live in, isn't it? So I'm going to wait just a few minutes as more people join on. And I just want to say thank you for being with us today at René Paris. I'm always super excited to share my time with you. And I do have I actually have several questions that I need to answer. So for those of you that are new today, please remember, because I know I have some new friends joining today, always remember that there are 3 of us. I'm the Texas Wig Fairy. We have Abby, and we also have Alexander, and we are all just a great team of educators, hairstylists that are here to educate you on what new styles, new collections, what makes things easier. And then when I'm on with you and I'm sharing with you, this is going to be from my perspective, because I do have my bio hair back, so things are sometimes a little bit differently. I might explain things differently, but I definitely try to make it user-friendly, because I know it's overwhelming. I see this every day, you know, like as a new wig wearer, I know that it's overwhelming trying to navigate through that world and trying to find someone to help you. New in the wig world, and I love it. I totally understand, and guess what? It just gets better. It just gets much better when you become even more confident in your wigs. This is something that I was just sharing earlier with a friend of mine who unfortunately had a really bad experience. And you know, every experience is going to be different. It was just, you know, maybe it was a bad day, maybe, I'm not really sure what happened, but you know, they sent her to me to try to just kind of talk her through some of the do's and don'ts, and some of the things that I went through when I first started wearing wigs. It's a little scary. It's a little scary, and I know I've told you that I grew up in this business, not myself. My family has, you know, wig business, and I just was lost myself, and I didn't really know what to ask. Honestly, I didn't want to ask. I just thought I was a little embarrassed. I didn't really know how to come across. I didn't know how to ask the questions I needed to ask. So this is why these lives are so important. And always remember to like us and follow us, so that you always know when we're going to do something new, when we're going to launch something new, when we're going to have a guest, because it's just super great information every week. So let me start off now that we have several people with us. I'm going to start off with the questions. First of all, this is one of the styles that I posted on my personal Instagram at Texas Wig Fairy, and I got a lot of likes. And this is Angelica in dark chocolate. Always remember that when you're viewing a photograph, whether it's a still or even video, always remember that it's gonna translate differently on your monitor, whether it's an iPad, a phone, a laptop, the screen, whatever you're viewing it on. It may look a little bit different, and the color may look a little bit different to you. But this is dark chocolate. It's not black. It's not in natural lighting. Of course, I have a ring light here, but in natural lighting, it's a little bit lighter. So this is one of my favorite pieces for the summertime. And I know I've shared this before, but I also come from the world of 50 plus in wigs, because you know, once you hit 50, things sometimes get a little crazy when it comes to hot flashes. And I laugh at that, because they used to tell me this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen. And the one thing I do want to share is it's it's not to the point where I would never say that I have felt like I just could not wear a wig. I haven't felt like that. And I have hair underneath here. I'll show you. I mean, I'm not going to take my wig cap off, but I do have bio hair underneath this. I want that wig. Yes, this is probably one of the easiest wigs to put up in an updo. And then I also, just before I forget, I also want to answer, how do you travel? I had this a couple times. How do you travel with your wig in an updo? Do you take it down or do you leave it in an updo? I actually leave it in the updo, just like this, because I don't want to have to fuss with it later. So I'm going to show you exactly what I do. I know we answered a couple messages the other day, but I want to show you exactly how I do this. Okay. So I never pin my wigs. I know that's hard to believe, but I never do. So this is, see, this is Angelica, Noriko. See, I would never tell you it's not what it is. Look at the colors. Isn't that pretty? Okay, I'm going to leave it just like this to travel with. I'm going to just take a couple of pieces of tissue paper. I know I shared this before, but we had so many questions that I just want to show you again. And I'm going to show you, I'm just putting it in the tissue paper. And I'm just going to wrap it. One. This is all I ever put it in. Just like this. And I mean, you may not have room to do this, but this bag. Just like this, so that it doesn't sweat or anything like that. And then at the end, you'll have to remind me, just remind me before the end of this live to put it back on. So I'm going to leave it right here packaged up like that so that you can see when I take it out, it'll be absolutely fine. Okay, second question. Do you ever pin your wigs ever? I really do not ever pin my wigs, not even that updo. The little trick is that whenever you put the updo on yourself, please remember my head's a little bit bigger. So if you feel like it's a little, if there's wiggle room, if you will, always remember to work with the adjustments in the back. And then if you are wearing a wig cap, and there's different accessories that people wear. This is my choice, just a basic wig cap. Please remember that you can pin the wig to the wig cap. You just find a place in the wig that has open, they're capless, so just remember there's places in the wig that you can put bobby pins in, and I pin here, here, back here if I choose to pin it, but I really don't. If I want to be able to, if I want to change my style really quickly, I don't want to have to, you know, de-pin and then take all the pins out and try to figure out. I don't want to be doing all that. So it's basically going to be just on without pins. Okay, next question. Okay, the wig caps. I know that I've showed you those before. I'm going to go over that just again. These are wig liners. This is what I wear. This has, it's fishnet here. They come in different colors. I know I've showed this before, but this was really important today because this is exactly what I wear underneath my style every single day. And the reason I do that is because the bio hair that I do have is it's baby hair. It's fine, so it's kind of silky, and I don't want my wig to slip. Especially the longer piece, because when you put the hair up here, it has more weight to it, so you have to keep that in mind. Okay, so this is definitely always going to be something that I wear. Okay, do you ever use wig glue or wig tape? No. I shake my head because I know I've answered that many questions. Absolutely not. For me, it's just something I wouldn't do. I am on some medications, so if any, you know, like if it were to break the skin or anything like that, it's just something that could be dangerous. So no, I never use glue, wig tape, nothing like that. I don't need to. These wigs are designed to be adjusted with the adjustments. So it's definitely something that you don't have to do with any of our collections, unless it's none of the collections. None of the collections, René Paris, Noriko, Amore, none of those collections. These are designed to be worn, ready to wear without any kind of adhesive. Let me see, is it possible to search by color at reneparis.com? Yes, it is. So I'm not gonna be able to show you exactly step by step, but when you do go to reneparis.com, that little top, at the very top, there's a little bars that you click. If you click on that, it'll do a drop down, find a new look, and then you can hit that one of the bars, and it'll ask you what color you're looking for. You could actually just do dark chocolate, and it's gonna drop all the styles that are available in that particular color. So yes, you can search by color. Okay, so someone asked me, why do you not ever discuss prices when you're teaching? Okay, so this is a real basic question, but it's a good question. I understand it's a little confusing. Aderans, René Paris, we're global producers, manufacturers of all these lines. We're wholesale, we're not a retail. So I know a lot of people ask that question. We're on the wholesale side, so we're the manufacturer that provides the product for your retailers. So that's why I always say find a retailer in your area, go to reneparis.com, put in your zip code, your area, and they'll help you find someone where you can physically go find someone to help you find one of these fabulous looks. I am an educator, a licensed hairstylist. We wear different crowns, different hats, if you will, at René Paris. It's a huge team. It's a wonderful team to be part of. But we are manufacturers, so that's why I don't ever discuss, because I'm not selling things, I'm educating. But I hope that answers all the questions that I had just recently, because I definitely always want to answer the questions. Let me see. Just want to make sure. Oh, another question was, do you ever wear short wigs? Yes, I do. I just wanted to show you, a lot of times I may not specifically show short styles all the time, but again, you can go in and just search by style. And I know if you want to go back and view some of our IGs that are, and we upload all of them, they're going to be there for you to view later. Emmy is one of my favorite styles that's shorter, so please go back and view those. Every live that we do is going to be available there, because we know it's going to be so important for someone today, in a week, in a month, in a year. So yes, there are several shorter styles. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started with my my favorite hats. These are hats that I really like wearing during the summer. Like if I'm going to be out and about, how do I choose one? So first of all, the most important thing is, and I know I've shared this before and it may sound a little bit funny, but since I'm about 21.5, I pretty much can, thank you for doing that. She posts our lives on her shop. Thank you so much for doing that. This is really, really important information, because it's hard to find answers sometimes, you know, and who better to go to than a wig shop owner, or online, wherever it is that you feel more comfortable. But these people are verified vendors, and they're going to be able to answer those questions. Okay, so I know this kind of, someone thought this was kind of funny, but this is the truth. This is one of my favorite hats. This is just a basic straw hat. It's from the men's department. Okay, and the reason I go to the men's department is because their hats are going to be a little bit larger, but who would ever know? Who would ever know that I did that? The most important thing is that someone, when I was looking at hats, that you can lift this. Not all of them have a sweatband like this, but you can lift this, and a lot of these have adjustments on the inside. So whenever you're looking for a hat, they call this little piece, usually it's like a sweatband. There's adjustments on the inside that look like this for you to adjust it. I didn't know that. I did not know that. So I would panic a little bit whenever I was trying them on, because I thought, how do I know? Some of these don't have sizes, so I'm gonna just show you how I put my, how I do the wig. First of all, okay, so this is Cali. This is in density, is gonna be a little bit less heavy than maybe the Angelica. And I always use a hair tie that's silky so that it doesn't cause frizziness, or it doesn't, sorry, I've got a little hair here I can't find. Or it doesn't, you know, a lot of times if you're using rubber bands, which I would never do, it's going to cause for the hair to get frizzy, and it's going to tangle, and it might snap the hair, so you don't want to do that. So I basically just get it. I know I've shown you this before, but so that you can see for the underneath the hat, I'm just going to put it like this. And I usually do this when it's really windy, because we're usually out and about and it's really windy, and I just don't want this hair to be flying everywhere, and you know, the body friction, and I don't want it to get frizzy. But again, this is from the men's department. If it was from the ladies department, for me, my personal size up here, you know, I've got hair underneath here, then I've got my wig, it would be just probably a little bit tight. So there's actually room there, which is really comfortable. Okay, so this is just a basic hat. Someone asked me if my hats are specially made. No, they're not. This is just from a big box store where you can, wherever you find your hats at. The men's department is where I found this one. Again, the most important thing was underneath here they have adjustments. Okay, so just, you can add a flower to this. There's just so many things that you can add to your hats, just to kind of, if it's from the men's department, just to make it a little more feminine. Okay, so this is another one. This has adjustments, and the reason I do straw hats is because they're cooler to me. And then again, this is not uncomfortable. There's a little bit of room there, which you don't want too much room, because you don't want it to fly off, but you definitely want it to be comfortable. And again, this is, and then whenever you get to where you're going, you can just take this little scrunchie off. But I always keep one of these handy, because if it gets windy, or like I was saying, and I know there's a lot of us that are kind of where I'm at, if I start sweating and I get a little hot, you know how that can be. I always want to make sure that I have one of these on the side right here. Okay, so the other is, I think the other day I was showing a little baseball cap. So I'm gonna put this in a little, let me put this in a ponytail. Okay, one moment. For the sake of demonstration, I'm going to put it on the side right here. Because again, I just want you to see how this fits. And the most important thing is, the reason I do not pick one of these caps with Velcro in the back, like someone thought maybe Velcro would be a little bit easier. This is just, I don't know how to explain this or what to call it, but it has the little, see these little placement things here? They don't grab hair like Velcro does. So I usually kind of put it to the widest just to kind of see if it's gonna fit correctly. And it doesn't. So the great thing about this is you're not grabbing hair and it's not uncomfortable. And you can also put the ponytail through the back here. But the most important thing is that you don't want anything with Velcro here where it's gonna grab hair. Okay, on this particular cap, there's nothing back here. So for me, honestly, I don't know the terminology. I just know that I took this from my husband's collection, and for me, it happens to be the most comfortable. I don't have to worry about anything pinching, anything. This is just something that I'm gonna wear. I know you've seen this on my post too. And of course you could do this in the back as well. But this is just no pinching, no grabbing of the hair. The hair doesn't get tangled. And the reason I'm saying that that's really important is because I was out and about one time and I really hadn't paid attention to the fact that the Velcro on one of my baseball caps had grabbed hair. So when I was to take it off, okay, keep in mind, you know, I just was a little bit worried because it did grab back here. And so I just wasn't really sure. So, I'm sorry, just a minute, please. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so for anyone that just joined today, we are just looking at different hairstyles that you can wear with caps. My personal favorites. Okay, I'm gonna do this with the ponytail through the back here. Okay, so I'm gonna show you this style here. Let me see here. This one's a little bit more snug. This is why a lot of times I have to like really play with. This is another type of buckle that definitely isn't gonna grab your hair. I'm gonna try to adjust this correctly. And you kind of have to do this first. This is also nice. And it keeps your ponytail kind of high. So for me, it just keeps it off my skin. Again, most important thing, that it doesn't have any kind of Velcro. It's not going to grab hair. Now, you do have to be careful. I mean, when you're taking this off, you do have to, I kind of just hold on the side here. I hold it somewhere just because, I mean, you are layering two pieces and you do have to be careful when you take that off. Okay, then of course, I know you've seen this one, but this is probably what I'm best known for. This is also a men's cowboy hat. This one's been around for a bit, but she's been around for some time. It's old, but it does keep the wig secure. And another reason that I wear them is because if we're gonna be out and about and it's kind of windy, this is definitely gonna keep it in place. Trying to find my little scrunchie. And then I kind of just pull it to the side, or you can braid it. Okay, so okay. Okay, so again, for those of you that have just joined, we were looking at different hats and caps to wear with your different pieces in the summertime. My hat fell off my head one time. Okay, so if you are wearing a cap and you didn't know, this is something that I've kind of had to learn. You can't do it with all of them. But another thing that you can do with your caps, if you can find clips that are large enough, is use one of these. And I usually do it. Let me see if I could do that real quick. Let me try to show you what I did. You can't do it with all of them, but like even if they have a sweatband underneath here, you can kind of just find a place where maybe you could clip this to some of the fabric. On this, let me try to do this on this real quick. Okay.
Well, Brian gave you your number. Well,
sorry about that. This got stuck back here, but I am trying to.
I need to get another tub replaced. It was a fiberglass tub, and somebody dropped it and made a little bit crack in it. And you just get it. It's a
Then I kind of just take. I don't know if you can see this right here. I'm gonna just kind of take it here and pin it. Right here. I hope you can see that. Can you see that? I'll try to show a picture of that. But I'm just taking it here, just finding a place where I can clip it. But you'd have to find some of these little pop clips that are a little bit larger. But this is definitely something that I use whenever I'm using my different wigs. Okay, so okay, any other questions? Okay, so hopefully I answered all your questions. And again, okay, quick, let me see. Someone wants to know, this is Callie from the Amore Collection. This is one of my favorite pieces too. And again, I usually do wear Angelica, but oh, I forgot. I almost forgot. Okay. Is there a tutorial for the updo? Okay, there is. You'll kind of have to go back a few. I'll try to find that. But there is a tutorial on the updo. I wanted to show you, okay, so if you missed it from the beginning, I took off my updo and I put it in tissue. This is how I travel with it. And the reason I do that is because when I'm traveling, I don't check my wigs in. If you're going by plane, as we're getting back into traveling, if you will. I'm not saying that's going to be anytime soon. I'm just saying if you are traveling and you want to, I would highly suggest to just take especially your favorite wigs in a carry-on if possible. Let me just tell you that if we're traveling, Mr. Big has to go in the back, and the girls, these are going to go in the front if it's necessary. It's not an option. Okay, so I'm going to take her out, and here she is. Like I said, I just travel with it like that, and I want to put her back on so you can see I haven't taken anything out. I haven't undone it. I haven't unclipped it. And she's still looking great. I know it's hard to believe that, but I mean, I just take it out, wrap it, put it back on, and it still looks good. So again, this is just the way I pack it and the way I travel with it. So hopefully that'll work for you today and for days to come and for trips to come. But the most important thing is none of these pieces that I showed you today, none of the caps or anything like that, they're not specially made, they're not custom done. These are just everyday hats from the selections where you buy your hats anyway. But the most important thing for me is that to always remember to check the little sweatband underneath the sweatband, because a lot of these have adjustments and you can size those just like you can your wigs. So thank you for joining us today. If we don't have any more questions, I do look forward to talking to you. So you have a good afternoon. I hope you learned something today at René Paris, and thank you for joining us. Goodbye.